Facebook Live event from PHLV Radio.
Friday na naman and welcome to Friday Nights with Kuya Louie on PHLV Radio. Brought to you by Arrow Smile Dental, RYE Entertainment, Beauty Me, and Serenity Home Care. And now, live from Portland, Oregon, here's Kuya Louie.
Hello. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning dyan po sa atin sa Manila, sa Pilipinas. Alam ko, napakainit po ngayon yata dyan. I heard that in the next few days it's gonna be 50. Kaya po mag-ingat-ingat po tayo talaga because, oh my God, sobrang init po yun. Dito naman po sa amin, bipolar po ang weather. Actually, you can experience 4 seasons in one day. Just one day. Halimbawa, lumabas po kayo ng mainit, paglabas nyo, pagpunta po kayo ng department store or grocery, paglabas nyo po, medyo umuulan na po at saka nag-hail. And then pagbalik nyo po sa bahay, mainit naman po dahil mainit na po ang araw. And then again, uulan naman po ulit. Mamaya-maya po ng konti, nag-snow na. So, 4 seasons po in one day. Only here in Portland or in Oregon, actually, in Pacific Northwest. And I'm so happy tonight because after how many Fridays that I wasn't able to be on air, kasama niyo po ulit ngayon. Kasama ko po ang isang how would I say that? Couple dito sa Vancouver, Washington and Oregon actually, na talagang isa sa mga parang modelong mag-asawa. Na hanggang ngayon talaga, I would say, just ko sweet na sweet pa rin sila after 40 years of being together. Actually, not being together, being married.
Married, yeah.
Yeah, being married. Kasi, bata pa sila na mag-asawa siya. bata pa si... Bata pa silang na in love sa isa't isa. Kaya mga kaibigan, wag na po natin patagalin. Mr. and Mrs. of course, Ate Cindy and Kuya Chuck Reidy. Kamusta po kayo ulit? How are you, Kuya Chuck?
Okay.
Hi, very good. Thank you.
So, what happened after like the last interview that we had like 2 years ago? I mean, it's still pandemic right now, but it's not the same as before. At least right now we can go out. I heard that you're always like going on vacations. I think you just came from Mexico, right?
We did.
Yes. We love Mexico.
Yeah.
So how's life after our interview? Nagbago ba si Kuya Chuck? Is he more more sweet?
It's
Sweeter?
great. I think we have
I think yung connection medyo mahina, sorry.
Like an old wine, right?
Like-
old wine.
There you go.
Nagpo-froze po kayo.
Yeah. Most of the time.
Uh-oh.
Para kayong frozen ngayon. Let it go. But anyway, mga kaibigan, ayan po, si Adrian ay naka-tune in po siya from...
Frozen?
Yeah, frozen. I think it's the connection. Are you connected directly to like doon sa yung Ethernet yun, naka-connect pa siya direct sa sa computer niya, or you're just using a laptop?
Laptop.
Oh, laptop.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. I think it's... Yeah, so Adrian is saying hi. I think she's in the outreach right now. Thank you, Adrian, for always supporting the outreach. At saka kayong dalawa ni Lorelai, and of course, si Kuya Eric Tadeo and family, and of course, Fil-Am Vancouver. At sa lahat ng volunteers, di ba? Talaga namang every year, they're always helping. Nice, frozen na naman kayo. So,
Yeah. We're going.
tawa tayo ng tawa ngayon dito kasi delay tayo ng reaction. But, why do you always... I know that, kasi nakikita ko sa mga posts ni Ate Cindy that you are always traveling, like going to Mexico. It looks like Mexico is your go-to place.
Yes. It is our go-to place.
Since the pandemic, right? Yeah. Yeah.
No, since it's been there, but so I asked the travel person, where's a good place to go that's available? And they said, you should go to Cabo San Lucas. And
Yeah,
then
that was our first.
that was our first place.
Yeah. And it's close by,
In
right?
2017, yeah.
So the flight time to
It's
go
like
there
3.5 hours.
is not hard, not long. So
Yeah, 3.5 hours.
yeah.
And then
So-
when we went there, they said you should go to Puerto Vallarta. So I said, "Oh, okay, let's go." The next time, and we went there.
Mhm.
And then when we were in Puerto Vallarta, people are like, "You should go to Cancun." So we're like, "Okay." So then we went there.
So which one's your favorite?
Oh, Puerto Vallarta, for sure.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. I actually, my mother-in-law, her husband, Uncle John, is always saying that if you wanna go to Mexico, don't go anywhere but go to Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah, it's they say it's where the mountain meets the sea.
Mhm.
So they have the beautiful mountains around the Bay of Banderas, and then they have the Bay of Banderas.
Mhm.
So like Cabo is like desert, so
Oh, okay.
more desert. And then Cancun is near the Caribbean,
Mhm.
but it's a lot more humid
Mhm.
because of the Caribbean, and it's like a 6-hour flight.
Oh,
And,
so it's longer.
It's
Yes,
longer,
right,
and it's
right.
about a 2-hour to 3-hour time difference, depending on what time of year.
Mhm.
Where Puerto Vallarta is like a 4-hour flight, and it's like 2-hour time difference.
Mhm.
No time difference.
Yes, it is. It's
and-
Central Time.
Oh, you're right. I was thinking, yeah.
You correct you. I have to keep you honest.
Women
thinking
always
Cabo.
win. The wife
Yeah,
always.
Cabo
That
is
was
the same time or
Same
1 hour
time.
difference, because
Yeah.
you know how we go daytime
Mhm,
or
mhm,
daylight savings time.
mhm.
Things like that. So it's either the same time or 1 hour difference in Cabo.
Yeah.
But it's more touristy in Cabo.
Cabo.
Like a lot of clubs and like partying, and we're not the clubbing partying type like in our 20s and 30s.
Yeah. So that means in Puerto Vallarta medyo ano siya talaga, medyo secluded, like
It's not secluded, but there's areas that if you want to, party club, you can, but it's more of the culture, the people.
Mhm.
Puerto Vallarta, it's bigger. There's so many other small towns.
Mhm.
And we like it because I have a saying that if the Philippines, married Hawaii, because
Yeah.
I was born and raised in Hawaii. He's
Hawaii.
born and raised in the Philippines.
right.
If the Philippines married Hawaii, their baby would be Mexico. That's what I like. So that's where we compromise.
So Ate Cindy, Kuya Chuck, do you always do that every year, or how frequent do you travel?
We take about 5 weeks of vacation a year.
So we go to a few times. We do every year. Go to Mexico.
We go to
a few
Mexico
times.
every January and every May.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
twice a year we go.
Yeah. But we have other places like Canada that we've gone to and traveled around the Northwest and
Yeah.
Hawaii some years. Yeah.
And then road trip from Washington, Oregon, California,
Yeah.
Arizona, Nevada, Idaho, and back.
Wow, sana all, di ba? Sana all.
Yeah. We haven't really gone to like exotic places like Europe or Australia or South America. Yeah, part of it is he's still working.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm self-employed, so I can bring my laptop and my phone and do my job. But working at Microsoft, he can't bring his computer out of the country because the client is the government.
Yeah.
So
Secure.
maybe when he retires, we'll go outside of Mexico and Hawaii and Canada.
So do you think for a couple, it's really important to like really like have time and like me time, like to travel or to like just stay out, kind of like stay away from like the usual place, the usual surroundings that you are in, kind of like just move like at least even for like few weeks or few days, just to kind of like just to have time for yourself?
It depends. I know for us, because every couple's different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every marriage is different, or every partnership, or whatever you want to call it, is different. So I think it's more important that the two people in a relationship, agree or compromise. That's a better word, right?
It is nice to get away, though. It's nice to go as a couple where you don't have the same, like if you were to stay home, right? Then you have the same distractions and obligations.
Yeah.
If you go somewhere else together, even for just a weekend, then it's really, as you said, it's our time. And so we decide, the things we'd like to do together. So it really continues the bond, and the opportunity to experience things together that you wouldn't like if you just stayed home or stayed in your hometown. So
The last time that I had interview with you, with both of you, Ate Cindy is the one who is like talking a lot, and now it looks like it's Kuya Chuck. Is there something, something new? I don't know.
I don't know.
You're giving him a chance to talk right now.
Sure. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
It just depends on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I know what he's thinking anyway. So, but you don't.
Yeah.
So he's telling you.
So you said that when the time comes that Kuya Chuck is going to retire, so you're more planning on traveling again to like probably farther places.
Yes.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because with his job,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to take more than 1 week off. I mean, it's really difficult.
Which part of the world do you want to go to?
Oh gosh.
Well, if you ask me,
I know where she wants to go.
I have a lot of places. I have they call it a bucket list or a dream sheet.
Right. Yeah.
So I have, and most of them are cruises, because on a cruise you could see several countries
Yeah.
one time.
Mm-hmm.
And I am terrible packing. Like it's a nightmare if I have to go to 5 countries and pack, unpack. You know what I mean? Get off the plane or take a train or rent a car.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be like in a bad mood because I'm just slow.
Who's usually in charge of like packing things and preparing everything? Is it the wife?
His bag, I do mine.
Right, yeah, we
do our own.
We do our own, right?
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I don't pack for him. He doesn't pack for me.
Yeah.
And I have a packing list, and his packing list is half of my packing list.
Well, I'm a guy, right? So how much do I need to bring?
Yeah, like, girls, do our makeup.
Go to the beach. What am I bringing?
You're not gonna need a gown or something, right? Good job.
Not to go to the beach, right? I don't need 4 pairs of shoes. I need,
You just need something. You need 2, probably 3 of
maybe,
those.
right? Yeah. And I'm gonna make it fit in my one bag. I don't need an
Well,
extra.
that's good, especially if you're like traveling for traveling longer.
Yeah.
You don't need I mean, it's still light. You don't have to pay for extra baggages.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But we look forward to that chapter in our life to go to Asia, like Australia, South America, all those different places. Like there's 7 continents.
Yeah.
So we've only been to North America and part of Asia, the Philippines.
When was the last time that you've been in the Philippines?
Oh my goodness, it was a while ago, right?
Well, yours is Pinatubo, so
Right. Yeah.
91
Mm-hmm.
for him and 98 for me.
Oh wow! So how many years was that?
It's
2023. Oh my God, it's almost
5 years.
It's a long time.
It's a long time.
5 for you, right?
Yeah, I don't have my calculator, so it's a long time.
Yeah, because I came here 2006, so that's like 17 years already. So yeah.
But a lot of the reasons why people go back is they have their
Families back home.
and so my parents are here.
Mhm.
All my mom's siblings passed away already,
Mm.
unfortunately. Her parents passed away. So she's the only one left in her original family. And in Chuck's family, both his parents passed away, and his mom's only sibling passed away. So,
Oh.
and a lot of his cousins married foreigners, so they're all over the world.
Right. Yeah.
So really, mostly we have mostly like second cousins,
Mhm.
and we have a few first cousins, and I do have an aunt and an uncle
Mhm.
that live there. But even my parents aren't going to go back anymore because they're older. Like my dad
Yeah.
will be 88, and
Yeah,
my mom will be 85, and traveling is so hard for them.
Yeah, especially nowadays, and expensive too, ate. Kuya.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, Clifford is saying, wow, guwapo ng host and maganda at handsome din ang
Is that
guest.
Clifford Pagyo?
Yeah, Clifford, I think, is he in the Philippines right now? I think he's moving back to the Philippines,
Really?
Yeah, Clifford already has a house and lot and a business in the Philippines. So
Oh, but his
Very
photography is so great. His business here.
Yeah.
I know that, but I think, some Filipinos would really love to go back home and
Sure.
retire and spend time with their families and
Sure,
stuff.
sure.
I'm one of those people, and I wish one day I can just go back home and just enjoy relaxed life,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Well,
Because
plus you speak the language, diba?
yeah, it's frozen again.
You speak the language also.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then a friend in Seattle said, "Shout, hello, kapatid. It's your husband's birthday. Happy birthday sa husband mo, Rhea Asas from Seattle, Washington. And of course, Emeline Rial from Hong Kong also. Lloyd Roa is watching from the Philippines for sure. Thank you. And I would like to say hi to my mom. Please be, just take care of yourself. It's so hot in the Philippines right now. Oh my God, I cannot imagine being there. I'm sure I'm gonna have like a panic attack. The last time I was there, I almost I was like, I cannot. I have to go back to Oregon because of the heat. It's just too much. I cannot breathe at night.
So what is the heat in Fahrenheit? What is it like Fahrenheit?
I think they're using the degree Celsius, I guess, in the Philippines. I'm not sure. It's
Okay.
50.
50 Celsius?
Yeah,
Yeah.
50. So that's like probably 100 something here.
Oh.
Is
Really?
it really?
Wow.
Yeah.
And then it's humid too?
Yeah, humid too. So after you take a shower, it's gonna be like you're gonna be sweating again.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know it's that hot there.
Yeah, it's that hot. Even if they said even if you have like AC, yeah,
Wow.
it's just so different. Global warming, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
even here in Oregon and I mean the U.S., there's just a lot of changes and it's oh my, I don't know what to say anymore because sometimes it's just frustrating when you wake up in the morning and you're expecting something like sunlight, sunshine, and then you'll see is all rain and wet and dumb, and it's like what's going on in the universe right now? But you have older kids right now.
Yes, yes,
Of course, the eldest is Clarissa, right?
yes.
Right.
She'll be 35
Mm-hmm.
in August. And then Carlo and Cami will be 31. Yeah.
They're twins, right? Carlo and Carmi?
Yeah, fraternal though, not identical.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And they have
So-
their own lives now too.
Oh yeah, and then the 3 grandchildren, of course.
So, my tita Ellen, she told me, and she is even telling everyone, like, the grandkids, you love your grandkids more than your kids. Is that true?
You know, my mom told me that would happen, and it's in a way it's kind of true. I mean, we love our kids, obviously,
Mhm.
but when you have grandkids, it's all about the grandkids because they're the children of your children.
Yeah.
So like the connections double,
Yes. Yeah.
you know. And
Yeah.
then my mom and dad, they said, oh, and then when you have, great grandchildren, what is that? Apo sa tuhod, diba?
Tapos sa tuhod, yeah.
So they said when you have great grandchildren, it's even more because then it's the children of your children's children.
Mhm.
So whenever they call or I call them, they always ask about always the bunso, right? How's Isabel? And then they don't ask about anybody anymore. They, Malia or Kruha, a little bit, but they don't even ask about their grandkids. Or us, it's always the great grandchildren.
Great grandchildren. And also my Tita Ellen said that um it gives you more happiness that that it's unexplainable. If if you're like babysitting your grandkids and you see them, it's just a different feeling, and that gives you more energy, more positive outlook in life. Because of course, we have like we have friends, we know some people that, and I was like, oh, I'm depressed. I have this issue with my how would I say that, my mental aspects of my life, that I'm happy. I'm an happy person, and I don't know what to do. But she said that if you have like grandkids and stuff, everything will be changed. You'll be like more eager to like maintain your diet and take care of your health in general, just because you would like to be there when they grow up.
Sure.
Is
Oh
that
yeah,
true?
for sure.
There is a motivation, definitely, for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So totoo pala yung sinabi niya.
Like we hope we live, as long as my parents in their 80s,
Mhm.
because then we hope to see our great grandchildren like
Right.
they are.
Mhm.
So that's actually, when you're younger, your dreams are, whatever they are, career or what have you, or even traveling. But then as you get older, it's spending more time, with your grandkids, or in my parents' case, great grandchildren.
Mhm.
So having 4 generations is amazing,
Yeah. Especially in your side, Ate Cindy, your parents, ikaw, tapos yung mga apo mo. Yeah. So, sinong pinakapanganay sa apo mo? Sino ba yun? Nakalimutan. Si
Malia,
Malia, dan si Kru, di ba?
and then Crew.
Kru,
Yes.
yeah. Ang ganda nung anak ni Clarissa na yun, yung panganay. Oh, she's really pretty.
Yeah. She looks a lot like her dad, because the dad is also a little mestizo, has
Mhm.
like Latin American and the Caucasian side, the mix.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then he has the mix, Chuck has the mix, and so the kids are just
Chop suey na. Kasi
Hello,
There you go.
na.
Mix.
hello.
Mix.
Puri Aston, of course. Hi, ate. Hello, Louie, and to the couple that I admire so much, Cindy and Chuck. Oh, wow. Of course, Fred Gallardo is also watching. Hello, bossing Fred. Ayan ba mga kaibigan? And the two of you are still working, of course. Cindy, you're more flexible when it comes to your work because, yeah, you can just go online, have your laptop, and you can already work compared to. And you have grandkids. Of course, there are times that they're gonna ask you to like, hey, can you please babysit, the kids and stuff.
Oh, sure.
A lot of time. So how do you
Friday,
schedule?
Friday is my babysitting day, so my appointments, I don't make appointments on Friday, but because I'm self-employed, I do sometimes have Saturday or Sunday appointments. It depends.
Sure.
Because I'm self-employed, my client's time is valuable. And sometimes they can't meet between 8 and 5 Monday through Friday because they're working.
Mm-hmm.
So Friday I stay for her. So you'll see me post on Friday, Isabel, because the other 2 are in school already.
Right.
Yeah.
So who's always like, are you asking them if you can babysit the kids, or they are the one asking you?
Oh, they're asking. They're asking.
Yeah.
How about
They
you,
can
Kuya
live
Chuck?
10 minutes away.
Yeah,
So.
because they know.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I remember, Ate Cindy, Kuya Chuck, when I during your last interview, that you had a hard time, like, managing schedules, like running errands once, because of the kids, and you don't have somebody to babysit them. So did you kind of like
Oh, for us, when we were our kids,
Mhm. Yeah,
oh,
your kids.
they went to daycare. So I know that's not a popular choice among yung mga
Among
Filipinos. They're like
Filipinos,
they
yeah.
don't like daycare, diba?
Mhm.
But for us, like I have my career, his career, my work.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I don't have my own identity also.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then same with him. He has his work, and then he's a husband, he's a dad.
Mhm.
So our kids went to a daycare center, like a learning nurturing
Right.
daycare center when we
Yeah.
had to work.
Mhm.
Plus, we moved around a lot, right? So we didn't stay just here near family.
Military,
My
yeah.
job required me to move every few years to
Mhm.
different places,
Mhm.
and it was always a challenge, to find somebody you would trust that's not in a
Yeah.
in a environment like a daycare center.
So, like parenting wise, did you try to like give tips to Clarissa and her husband about how
Well,
to
they're
raise?
lucky. They're
Yeah.
very lucky because my son-in-law's parents are retired. So
Oh,
his parents have been babysitting the kids full time.
wow.
They were
Swerte.
so they're very lucky. Yes.
Yeah.
Swerte naman. And also,
Yeah.
once in a while, kayong dalawa ni Kuya Chuck.
Yeah. We're still working, so that's why we only babysit once a week.
Mhm.
But then on weekends, sometimes we also babysit extra. And then when Noel's parents want to take a vacation,
Mhm.
then I'll take time off, or Chuck will take time off, and then we'll watch the kids.
Your parents, of course, sorry, Kuya Chuck, your parents passed away already, but in your family side at the Cindy, how many times do you visit your parents?
Oh,
Or
now we visit them like every 3 weeks
Mhm.
because they live near Seattle,
Right.
and then I talk to them on the phone all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so we spend like the weekend with them every 3 weeks. Sometimes more often, sometimes not as, only because if we're on vacation,
Mhm. Yeah.
can't be in two places at the same time.
Of course, Kuya Chuck was born in the Philippines. You grew up in Hawaii, or you grew up in the Philippines also, Ate Cindy?
No, I was born and raised in Hawaii.
In Hawaii,
Then he was born and raised in the
in
Philippines.
the Philippines.
Yeah.
So, of course, even if you, of course, Kuya Chuck is American. He was born and raised in the Philippines. Probably the foundation of like upbringing is different, I would say. But do you think it's really important for like, even not Filipinos, but all the families in the world to be at least connected with one another, at least like once a month, or like at least no, as frequent as possible? Is it really important?
Oh, for sure. I would say since at least for us, family is really the center, right? And
Mhm.
that's what grounds us together.
Well, God
It-
first,
yeah,
our
right.
faith first.
Mhm.
God is always first, because without God, we're not here. That's our belief.
Mhm.
So it's God first, and then family right
Mhm.
after, and then friends right after.
Yeah.
And
But-
then when we have that, I mean, naturally, each other is prioritized because obviously we're the ultimate like family spouse, diba?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I do think it is like you had asked. It's important to gather. I know of some families. We have family friends that when we first got married, their mother, we call our auntie,
Mhm.
she and her family for the last how many years? 45 years or so. They gather every Sunday.
Oh yeah.
As much as long as they can drive, they
Mhm.
gather to have
Sunday dinner.
a Sunday dinner together.
Wow.
So that, when we spent time very early in our marriage with them, I think we were only married less than 6 months, and
Right.
and they took us in. That was something that we saw, and so we don't have that same ability sometimes,
Yeah.
but we do try as much as possible because we see that connection,
Mhm.
and we feel how important it is to really stay connected. I mean, nowadays many families, they have Zoom, and they have, other
Group
ways
chat.
to stay
Group chat.
connected, right?
FaceTime.
FaceTime, and
Yeah.
but even with all of that, there's the physical connection that really helps, just to sit down together,
Yeah.
have a coffee together,
Mhm.
have a really good conversation together in front. And that's why we make the effort to go and visit with her mom and dad, as much as possible physically. Because I mean, we can call them on the phone,
Yeah.
and
Different.
you can FaceTime them and Zoom or whatever, but it's still not the same feeling as when you're
Yeah. Pag magkasama kayo in person.
person, right?
Yeah.
It also depends, like if the siblings for that family we're talking about, all the siblings live like pretty much in the same area,
Yeah.
but like his siblings, they live different places.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to, I mean, you can't see
Very
each other
true.
every Sunday,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're in different states, but then it's nice, like they're gonna have a reunion. So it'll be the first time in a while that all the cousins, the first cousins, aunts, nephews, great nephews,
Yeah.
will see each other. So it'll be nice. It's long overdue, but that's because people were living, some in Hawaii, us in Washington, I'm in South Carolina, the others in New York. I
Yeah.
mean, it can't get any more. It's almost like a stamp, each corner of the United States.
Uh-huh.
And then everybody's working or they're in school.
Mhm.
So it's nice. We're finally going to have a reunion on his side, which is nice.
Yeah. The talagang nakaka-relate ako diyan because of course last January walang masyado nakakaalam nito. I went home for 5 days in the Philippines,
Oh, wow.
and I was able to have a chance to be with my brothers and sisters, with my mom, and I was like, it doesn't really matter how short, or how long you've been together, but as long as you're together and you're enjoying, you're like excited to see each other and kind of like to talk to each other. It's just a
Yeah.
different feeling, and it give me a different perspective about about life and about what really matters and what's really important. And 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 I was like, sometimes personally, and of course some other people are are tired of like hearing families issues, like especially the our families that are living in the Philippines that always like ask money from us or something like that. But you know what, at the end of the day, it's about it's about family, it's about helping each other. It doesn't matter how much you give, or what, if you cannot give, they will definitely understand. But if you just try, what you have and just share what you have, and everything is just different. Just very satisfying feeling, and I can totally relate to that one. So eh, nagiging emotional tayo. Kaya when it comes to family.
Yeah.
I think the connection is just
Like,
sometimes it's
like
like spotty.
age, hormones.
But for
Oh,
everybody's information, also Kuya Chuck and Ate Cindy is also very active in the Filipino community. Palagi mo silang makikita. Very supportive sa mga Filipino events, and very supportive also sa mga local talents. And I can attest that they're very supportive of me, and I'm really grateful about that. And tsaka they're always there to help volunteer, especially sa mga Filipino event. And also you're still a member or like officer of the Fil-Am Vancouver, right? Both of you?
yeah.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. I'm still, former chair, and I'm currently still the treasurer on the board.
So do you think it's also really important for us Filipinos to have those kind of organization to kind of like just make sure that everything is in,
I I think it's important to have something like that you're a part of, because you need to be able to not only welcome new Filipinos coming from the homeland here and helping them, become um, integrated into the rest of the community. Because sometimes if you're coming here and you don't know anybody, you can feel very alone, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and so that's one aspect. The other aspect is really helping the the children that are born here, right? And don't know the Philippines and only know our traditions from stories, right? And so being able to expose them to our traditions and to our culture and to be able to perpetuate that through them, for them to learn it. That's about as that's another part of what our organization can do, because not many of them will ever have the ability to go home. And even if you went home back to the Philippines, um, if you're born and raised here, you don't know that very culture your parents were brought up in, or your grandparents. And so it's really important to be able to perpetuate that. And so they know where we came from. They know where we started, and I think that's one of the unique things about us Filipinos. As you come here to the United States, we are in so many different we're in so many different careers, and we're in so many different areas, especially as we strive to be more seen in the United States and be more recognized. And so I think it's just really important that we have a grounding for our children to know where we came from, where we struggled to come here, and so it helps to for many, drive them, give them that courage to strive to do better, to do more. Right?
Yeah. So, what's the story behind Truly? Sino talaga may gusto nun?
Behind Truly, Lionel Richie and Truly.
Well, I know that
Excuse me.
when we got married, like the week after his or our church wedding, he had to leave to go to training in the military.
Right. Yeah.
And that song around that time, like 1982, 1983, would be on the radio.
Sure. Yeah.
And the words, if you listen to the words of that song, it really, like he said, there was no other song that would really speak to him and convey the way he was feeling about me.
Did it come out when we were
dating?
We were dating, right?
When it first came out. Yeah. But when you're dating, you don't really think of what is our song. I mean, we didn't. You know, we're having fun going out.
Right.
So really, it wasn't until we were separated, meaning we're married, but he has to go away and train in the military.
Yeah.
That when you're physically apart, that you start to listen more to the radios and songs start to mean more to you.
True. Truly talaga, truly.
Truly.
Yeah. Well, and there are, it also, between us, there are moments that it brings back to us.
Yeah, it takes us back to 1982 when we were dating.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it was on the radio. So when we hear it, there's glimpses of when we met at 18, which was pretty young. And then surprisingly, my parents gave him permission to marry me, but that's because they met Chuck's parents, and the parents really got along well. And I
lucky for us.
Yeah,
right?
because otherwise they wouldn't have said okay. They didn't like his parents, it would have been done.
We have to ask permission back then, right?
Yeah. You have to.
We were young. We were 18.
Yeah.
And not only from the parents, we had to have permission from the U.S. Embassy.
Oh, wow.
Because we're U.S. citizens in a foreign country. So they required the parents, who are, I guess
Legal
18
guardian.
is a legal age, but my mom, who's Kapampangan, and she's,
Old
from,
school.
yeah, well, I
Yeah.
think she said the rules in that area we lived in,
Mm-hmm.
you had to be 25
Yeah.
to actually sign a marriage contract.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And since we were only
Right.
19, the parents had to also sign. I don't know if that was true or she made it
Yeah.
up.
No, I think so.
I think so. I think it's true. 18, no, yeah, like at least 20, 21, something like that.
Something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that we couldn't legally be married without their signatures. So, and because he was joining the military and my dad was a U.S. Navy officer. So
Mhm.
I had a military ID card that said, I'm a dependent of my dad,
Yeah.
We got married, had a civil wedding first,
Mm-hmm.
so that he could submit all the paperwork to transfer from being a dependent of my father in the Navy to being a dependent as his wife in the Air Force.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So that's why we
Okay.
had the civil wedding first to do all the
Yes.
paperwork.
Yeah.
Right.
And in the meantime, we have to meet with the parish priest, the
Oh yeah.
Yes.
training.
Right. I
Seminar.
thought it was the training, man. The training.
So we had to do all of that.
Right.
And then
to get the priest approval
Priest
too,
approval.
right?
Yeah,
You have to
yeah,
go to
yeah.
classes. Remember?
The classes, you have to attend the classes. I remember that.
Yeah.
and then we have to get a
Classes,
copy of our baptism certificate.
Right.
Make sure we're Catholics in good standing because we were married in the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I have a question, Kuya Chuck and Ate Cindy. Do you think one of the reasons why you have a very successful marriage is because of the foundation of how your parents raised you?
Oh, I'm sure of
Yeah.
it. I'm sure of
That's
it. I mean,
probably most of it because
yeah.
his parents were married 46 years
Mhm.
until then his dad passed away because of cancer, unfortunately.
Did she get married again?
She never remarried. And
No.
she passed away 24 years later.
Wow.
And she
Yes.
never remarried.
Right.
So he was 72 and he's like 6 years older than the mom. And then his mom was 90 when she passed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
How about
then
your parents, Ate Cindy?
they celebrated 60 years of marriage. So I'm a honeymoon baby apparently. Because I was born nine and a half months after their honeymoon night. So technically, I'm made in the Philippines, born in the USA.
The USA, born in the USA.
Born in the USA, but made in the Philippines.
I agree with that one too because I know that because of the values that our parents taught us, that kind of like we, uh, we can stay away from any other like how would I say that distraction and
Yeah.
just focus on our family, our
Yeah.
husband, our wife. Yeah. So I thank you so much for that, and I hope talaga we have to go back to the basics. Like, ano ba tinuro what did our parents told us to do, and what our parents told us to be to have a successful marriage. Because right now it's more on this distraction. It's more the temptation, and it's so difficult to kind of like say no or something like that because our foundation is not strong enough. We can be easily persuaded by whatever's in front of us. So yeah, and I think it's because also of the faith that we have in ourselves, and then, of course wala
For
tayong
sure.
tiwala sa Diyos kaya minsan
Oh,
hindi tayo-
no, talaga.
yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I really think, like I said, I think faith is our foundation, and they taught us that their marriages were founded in faith.
Yeah.
And then it was all about, family first, right? And then because they said when you grow up, friends are great. I mean, friends are the flowers in the garden of life, diba? But sometimes, friends come and go, they get
Yeah.
in
And
time,
sometimes they become the reason why. Yeah.
Or sometimes or sometimes you meet friends that they change.
Yeah.
And they may stray away from their faith, and so their values may change, right? And it's not to say they're good or bad, but it's, it brings us back to the home, the family, and the friends that are like family. Like they're not related by blood, but they're very much like our family. Also.
Yeah.
And I think that's really it. I mean, when people say, what is the secret? I said, we just really care about each other. And when we argue, the thing is because we're best friends. But when we argue, we're best friends, so we kind of miss each other when we get upset.
Yeah.
And so one of us will say, I'm sorry. And there's a thing that's really big is I always, when we get upset, you get excited. You have your own opinion, Diba. Sometimes it's not the same. And then we're stubborn. So we always think, it's not my intention to upset you, right? Yes, I really care and I want to be heard. So then, you have to think about that. You're not just arguing to argue to make them mad. It's just that whatever you were talking about, you really believed in what you were talking about, or you think you were right, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, does it really matter what you're fighting about?
Yeah.
Right. So there's a good saying that I read somewhere that if you're arguing about something that doesn't matter in 10 years, then just stop fighting. It doesn't matter.
Of course, in the middle of the fight, you're not thinking about that, right?
Yeah. Fried chicken. We have all fried chicken.
Say going out to Thai food again?
I don't know if you heard about the law, and I think does that Michigan na binabawal na yung na magsama yung unmarried couple.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're not allowed to live together?
Yeah, to
in
live
Michigan?
together. I think so. I'm not sure about that
It can't
state,
be,
but
because Detroit, Michigan, I'm sure there's people living together. Maybe a town in Michigan.
a town, probably a town.
Not the state, for sure.
The state, yeah. I heard I saw that on TV the other day. I did not really pay attention to it, but it was like I said, yes, I think that should be it, because in the Philippines you cannot live together if you're not married,
Yeah. But there's a lot of people that still get divorced or annulled in the Philippines. Not a lot, but there's still some, right? Gosh, it's hard these days. Sometimes people live together for economic reasons, not just like sexual living together. So like roommating or whatever. But if you're talking about a relationship living together, we probably have seen friends over the years where some lived together and some didn't. And the divorce rate is the same. You know what I mean? Like if they never lived together and then they get married and then half get divorced, or if they lived together then got married, half get divorced. So I think, to be fair, it's up to the couple.
Yeah.
If they're really going to work it out, right? If they're really going to be committed.
Yeah.
For instance, if when you meet, like when we met each other, we were skinny, We're not skinny anymore. You know what I mean?
But we're committed.
We're committed, yeah. So kailangan, kasama pala yun, dapat talaga committed kayo sa isa't isa. Yeah.
If he's gonna expect me to be able to wear the same clothes I did at 18, it's not happening.
No.
Yeah. Kaya nga sabi nila, di ba, through thick or thin, for better or for worse, di ba? Yung sa
health until death do us part.
Yeah. For better or for worse, that's true. You really you have to take those words to heart, right? Because life is life, and you will have ups and downs. There will be struggles, whether it's medical, financial, mental, physical, and you just need to be strong together. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things that I appreciate a lot about Cindy is that
how about hair?
Yeah, thick or thin, right? you know, regardless of the struggles that we have been through, she is there and is able to come together. And you know, here we are. We find ways to work it out and continue on, because it's just us on this journey together, and that's the way we look at it, right? Many things will come across barriers that you have to overcome, and together we're able to manage it, you know. So, and everybody in life has you know, struggles and things, you know.
But I do think the examples are big. For instance, my daughter's husband, my son-in-law, his parents have been married. It'll be 50 years, I think. I don't know if it's next year or the year after. And his grandparents were married over 60 years. So, and they live into their 90s. And so when my daughter and my son-in-law were dating, that's the things they talked about was, okay, you know, if you get married to me, I come from families of my grandparents, my great-grandparents, my parents. They only, you know, they were married for 40, 50, 60 years or whatever. So both of them were like, if you're going to marry me, it's for life or don't get married.
Ate, ito, isang song to from Shawn Mendes. Lyrics na ng song ni Shawn Mendes na ang title is It Will Be Okay. Sabi niya daw, if we can't stop the bleeding, we don't have to fix it. You don't have to stay. I will love you either way. So kanina sabi niyo, kailangan, you know, you have to be committed, you have to fight for what you felt is right, or if you really love the person, you have to fight for him or her.
And I think you have to compromise.
Yeah.
I think sometimes when people, I mean, you know, the ones that I have known, the couples that I have known that did get divorced over the years, sometimes one person just, you know, wants their way. They don't want to give in.
Yeah.
They don't want to compromise. And so then the other person becomes unhappy, and they're not bad people. You know what I mean? They're good people, but you really have to compromise. Like if I'm doing something, you know, that that's he's not happy, then how am I going to be happy? And the same way, if you know what he's doing is going to make me unhappy, then you know.
And you have to communicate that. That's important.
You can't keep it inside. You have to express
to feel comfortable enough in your marriage and your relationship to be able to communicate your desires, so that if you feel good and that she's treating you well, you'll understand, oh, you know, what are my needs, what are my support that I need in order for me to feel better, and in the same way. So it's really communication is really important. I probably said that last time. I think.
Yeah, you did. Communication.
Yeah, so in 2 years it didn't change. It's still communication.
We're still communicating.
Communication, and it's not like, oh, I learned how to do it. It really is. It's an ongoing thing. Even together now,
59.
We still have things that we are communicating about, you know, and making sure we understand each other, where opinions are, and
we're not perfect people, you know.
No.
I make mistakes, he makes mistakes, but we like to say we're perfect for each other, but we're not perfect people. No, but we're perfect for each other only because, like, what I'm not strong in, he is. You know,
we complement each other.
It's like piece of a puzzle.
Compliment.
Ang dami natutunan na Vodcom Bahista Recto. Congratulations, and okay, thank you so much. And Aljan Roa is watching. Adele Ordinary from Long Beach, California is also watching. Hello, Ate Adele. And of course, sa lahat po nanonood, maraming salamat. Sabi niyo ba, communication is the key. And we have to be comfortable. Kasi nga, kaya nga tayo mag-asawa, kaya nga we get married is because we love each other and we're comfortable with each other. Don't lose that comfortability with each other. Para palagi kayong nag-uusap, palagi kayong nag-communicate with each other na pag-uusapan niyo kung ano man yung problema ng hindi, yung parang hindi na kayo, pag-usapan niyo palagi and tapusin doon mismo para wala na tayong pag-uusapan pa kinabukasan or later or something like that. Pag may pareho kayong hot, stop
Don't
muna.
hold it inside. You have to, exactly.
Yeah. So, see, ang dami ko na natutunan. I'm gonna be a marriage counselor pretty soon.
There you go. There you go. A singer, marriage counselor,
Yeah.
full-time job also, father.
Yeah. So, actually, ang dami-daming shows na darating ngayon, Ate Cindy, Kuya Chuck. The Rio Brothers is coming on May 19. Mito Yonting is coming on May 5th. We also have Alex Caleja on May 21. And then, yung show ni Evelyn Katigbak, si Bona, tsaka si Joseph Delito. Ang dami-daming show. Kaya mga kaibigan, mga kapamilya, kamag-anak, baka gusto yung manood ng comedy. There's just a lot of variety shows here that you can check out, every month. So if you want to watch out and kind of like enjoy, or at least, have your me time with your loved ones, just check it out and enjoy life. Sabi nga ni Ate Cindy na, yun ni Kuya Chuck, just enjoy life.
Work hard. You have to work hard, though, because love doesn't pay the bill.
You need money.
Yeah, your love is great, but you still got to work to pay those bills.
Yeah.
Kaya nga po. At saka I would like to thank our sponsors, of course, RYE Entertainment, Serenity Entertainment. We have Aerosmile Dental, and we also have Beauty Me. And thank you so much po, Kuya Yo and Ate Flora. Ate Cindy, Kuya Chuck, what is your last word for today?
Last words.
Last word.
Don't worry, be happy, like the song.
There you go.
Don't worry, be happy.
Be happy.
Okay. At bago po tayo magtapos, mga kaibigan, ito po yung song ni Ate Cindy at saka ni Kuya Chuck. Sing with me.
Okay.
What say only fools in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Yeah. Just stay. Would it be a if I can't help falling in with you? Kuya Chuck, it's your turn. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so
you got
it goes. Some things
No, I'm
are
singing.
meant to be. Maganda po ulit sa inyo, mga kaibigan. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pag-antabay sa amin ngayong gabi. Of course, I would like to thank Ate Cindy and Kuya Chuck for granting this interview, for being so kalog and so open about this discussion. Actually, marriage is a very difficult this discussion, and I'm so happy that they are open and they gave us tips and pointers on how to have a successful marriage. They just said that they're not perfect, but they're perfect for each other because they complement each other, mga kaibigan. Kaya maraming salamat po ulit. Happy Friday at magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat po. Thank you, Ate Cindy. Thank you, Kuya Chuck. Regards to the whole family. Kaya po, mga kaibigan, thank you so much po. Abangan po ulit next Friday and another episode of Friday Nights with Kuya Louie. Siguro medyo fresh na po ako noon kasi I'll try to sleep. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Bye-bye! Bye, Kuya. Bye, Ate. Thank you. Thank you, Kuya.